Oh yeah, he started it. It's ready for an intro. You'll want to stand, yep, somewhere about there.
It's good.
It's a good spot.
What we have here, USSSA certified, 27 ounce with a little bit of inload, Monsta Blacklisted. Very vague here, but we're gonna give her hell.
Yeah. Check the
And I'm gonna struggle with the wrapper.
He will throw that in the trash for all you green people.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, make sure you throw that shit away for the tree huggers.
Save the turtles! I mean whales. I mean something. Nice and smooth, live on the barrel.
I'm Mother Truckers back out here with the gang today, doing the Monsta Blacklisted. Big thanks to Brett Whelan for getting us this so we could check it out for you guys. And also big shout out to him for doing all the work that he does with getting the Sonic streams for us on the Facebook page. It just works out really well. So thanks to Brett for providing this bat and doing all the work that he does with the streams, getting everything taken care of for us in that regard. Back at Atkins Park here in Columbia, Missouri, with 300 feet all the way around with a monster in left field. It's about a 90-degree day with a slight breeze swirling around. Hitting a mixed bag of balls, BP Rockets, Classic M's, Pro M's. Big thanks to Bobby Bugs for the Classic M's and BP Rockets. And this bat was brand new to get this day started. As you saw, Dylan peeled the wrapper off of it. We went to town on this thing. It is a 27 ounce, and Monsta's website has this listed as having a ½ ounce of inload, and I do not feel that this bat was true to weight. This thing felt like a 24 ounce bat with a 3 ounce inload. Absolutely no control to be had with this thing, in my opinion. And you know me, I like big inloads, but this thing was almost unmanageable. But it's all user preference, I suppose, because if this was that bad of a loading for someone, they wouldn't make them. So somebody's approved them. It's just something that we didn't necessarily care for.
Yeah, it ain't bad at all.
This is a two-piece bat with a composite handle, and it features a stiff or super stiff handle. And I did forget to look, I'm not going to lie, but I do believe that I want to say this one was a super stiff handle because the bat itself was still pretty tight. It's a 13-inch barrel on this thing, and this handle combined to give it an overall tight feel. Not a ton of forgiveness per se, but nothing made you regret life after hitting it. So, you know, it's nothing that killed the hands or anything like that. Just really firm feedback on almost every swing. Even though I'm not a fan of a super stiff feel, I didn't mind it because you knew what you were getting once you could figure out what was good and bad feedback in terms of the tighter feedback. Taking a look at the compression tester here, this thing was basically at 290 when we got started and finished at around 275. And knowing how tight it felt when we got started and knowing it was sitting at essentially 300 on the compression tester, we kind of thought we were going to be in for it. But this thing proved us wrong. It did get progressively better like normal as we hit these things. But the biggest change happened at about the 75 swing mark. We were seeing some great performance out of this thing once we got there. And it was almost like the flip of a switch too. It just kind of came out of nowhere. So seeing that performance, we thought for sure it would be down in the 250 to 260 range. But it was surprising to see it still hanging around 275 when we got done with it for the day. And I think kind of the overall consensus with this bat was the fact that Monsta has definitely gotten the performance aspect of things figured out with the 240s. The fuel that we've reviewed and now this one have both been great performers. The fuel had a couple of nuances that we weren't real wild about, and this one also had its own. But those things were things that we didn't like, were merely preference. And it would come down to whether you like it. One person could love it, one person could hate it. But if you're going to force something out of me, my biggest rates were how stiff it felt on every swing. Initially made it hard to figure out if I was striking the ball well. But as I mentioned, you learn to differentiate the good from the bad feedback within the stiff feel. And it was smooth sailing after that. But still not something that I would seek out in a bat of mine personally. But probably our only main rant worth really making a stink about was the loading of this thing. This 27 with a ½ ounce felt like a 24 ounce bat with a 3 ounce inload. I mean, just every bit of the weight felt like it was in the very end of the bat. So it was to the point of like, if you had intentions of controlling this thing, either go down an ounce or I'm going to tip my hat to you for having some of the strongest hands known to planet Earth if you can manage to control this thing. It was so hard to control to the point that I had a hard time adjusting to it. I felt as bad as I looked swinging this thing until I finally got a feel for it about my last 5 swings in the video. And at that point, I was about to melt down, so there was no more getting more swings in just for content purposes. Because, as again, I feel like that stuff is completely subjective, and it's a transparency thing just to see that not every bat is going to be sunshine and rainbows, and everybody's out there having a good time hitting. And also, don't want to take away from the fact that this thing was a performer, even with the bad swings I was putting on the ball at about the 100 swing mark, and even this thing testing around 275. I wouldn't hesitate to consider this a gamer from the performance aspect of things. Just not our favorite bat from a loading standpoint. So that's our thoughts on this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll let you check the rest of it out here. Thanks to Brett. Thanks to Bobby Bugs. Thanks to Dylan for doing the intro and coming out hitting. Thanks to Brian for bringing them biscuits. That's it for this one, guys. Enjoy the rest of it. Swing hard in case you hit it. Keep it here. Catch you next time.
Yeah.
3.
Pretty sure it hit the top fucking link of the fence.
It did.
Dude, this
I'm telling
was
you.
a
Performance
huge-
wise, it's going.
This is a huge difference from what we were swinging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh,
your round is gonna be probably the deciding factor of performance wise.
Sorry, I seen the ball.
Yeah, I know.
Still though, like
Still hit it fucking 40.
the fact of where you hit that, be on your tall of a frame, where you hit that pitch.
340 from your fucking shoelaces?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely turning up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, it's.
It hit a
Alright, finish.
Yeah, shot.
Alright, Dill.